Bonjour, bonjour, bonjour. I am your humble French tarot reader and deck goblin Marine, and today I'm so pumped to share with you some new tarot and oracle decks that join my tarot shelves. Marine, you're sharing new decks. You've done a haul not that long ago. Girl, what is going on? And yes, I know, I hear you. There's a good reason, okay, behind this haul. What happened was, you must have seen that by the time you're watching this, one of my dear sister in the cards sent me this awesome package of decks, and I filmed my unboxing and I'll put it in the cards. It was so fun. I loved it so much. But this package was years in the making, and I didn't know when she was going to send it. At the same time, I was in touch with this lovely lady in my local marketplace who was decluttering her tarot collection and getting rid of a ton of decks as a package. I was already in the process of trading for this package by the time I received my friend's surprise package. So I actually acquired at the same time a lot of decks. And because I know there's so many fellow tarot lovers out there, I thought I'd share them with you. You know, I know I'm not going to be working with all of these decks at the same time. This is going to last me for literally the rest of the year and more. There's also some decks that were sent to me for review, so I want to share those with you as well. And there's the end of my birthday haul from back in March, which at the time I had run out of spoons to finish sharing with you the deck I had gotten from my birthday in March. So we're gonna gather all of that in the same whole video. Strap in, it's gonna be long. There's a lot of mostly pre-used mass market decks from this lovely lady, so it's gonna be fun. If you like mass market decks, I think you'll enjoy particularly this haul. Although there's some indie gems as well. So, per usual, I'm gonna be putting all the names of the decks in the description box. If I have the spoons, I'll put links. And of course, in the description box, that's where you can also find a link to my second channel, The Waves of Your Soul Readings. That's where you can actually see all of these decks being used. If you want to see any of these decks being used in actual readings, well, that's where The Waves of Your Soul Readings is, where I post pick-up pile readings, monthly guidance, tarot readings on lots of different subjects. Go and subscribe over there as well. It's a good time. Before we go straight in, I'm going to do just a little life update. If you're not interested, you can jump ahead to the haul. I'll put chapters in the description box. Let's do this. First up, I know I'm owed a kind of video where I talk about India with you all, and my trip to India that I took back in March, and specifically like my stay at an Ayurvedic hospital. I will share with you this experience more in detail in a future video where I talk about current favorite decks and all of that, because what I'm working on with my decks is very much linked to what I've learned in the Ayurveda place. So I thought it makes more sense to gather those together. And on top of that, I'm still processing a lot in terms of what I've learned. So I want to make sure I get my thoughts together before I share my experience with you guys. But I will make sure to share with you in an upcoming monthly favorite video my experience going to an Ayurvedic hospital for 2 weeks in India. Long story short, it really helped heal some of the symptoms I had from the mosquito illness I got a year ago, which is fantastic. But I'm still dealing with a lot of chronic pain and chronic illness symptoms from all of the other diagnoses I have, pre-existing conditions I'm dealing with. And the journey, the traveling, which was really long, really took it out on me. So at this moment in time, April, my health has been really up and down, even though I have a lot more energy, so I'm dealing with much less chronic fatigue, which also has had a huge impact on how well I'm capable of engaging with my cards. I've been feeling a really big renewal in my engagement in my cartomancy practice. I'm journaling every day, I'm meditating every day, I'm pulling cards every day, which I was unable to do last year because of my health. So in terms of energy and chronic fatigue, I'm feeling a lot better in that sense. I'm also still on oxygen therapy 3 times a day, which helps. But chronic pain is still a big issue. Repetitive injuries are still a big issue. So I'm seeing like some improvements in some areas and some like still really big obstacles in another area. I'm still very much dealing with disability on the day-to-day because of this renewed energy and this like improvement in my chronic fatigue, thanks to, I really believe, my stay at the Ayurvedic place. Like I said, I've actually engaged with my cards a lot more. So whilst this is a whole, I've actually used all of these decks quite a lot already, bar maybe one, which I'll share with you, but the rest I can already give you mini reviews. A lot of you will have felt the crazy energies happening this year between all of the placement in Aries. We're moving into now Uranus going into Gemini, and because I'm an Aries sun myself and I have quite a few placements in Aries, I was really curious as to how this year would affect me, because it's a big year for all of us, my fellow Rams. I think we'll feel it. There's a lot going on. And my lovely friend Niha, and I wanted to give her a shout out. Niha from Dark Fate Tarot. She is an extremely knowledgeable astrologer. She's been learning astrologies for decades. She is such a good teacher. She's such a good astrologer and tarot reader. And she so kindly did a reading for me on my transits for 2026, and it was immensely helpful. And so I wanted to give her a shout out. I'll make sure to leave the link to her Instagram and YouTube in the description box if you guys are looking for an astrologer, someone to give you a transit reading. Speak to Niha. She's fantastic. You know, you guys, she's a friend now that I've met through the community, but she's very, very good. And you guys know I'm quite particular with who I go to get my cards read, or who I go to get my birth chart read, right? I've had many readings over the years, some of them not so good, but Niha is solid. She is knowledgeable. Every time she does an astrology like birth chart reading for me, I leave not only feeling empowered, but also I learn so much. So I wanted to really give her a shout out and just say, if you guys are looking for someone to help you with your transit this year, you're looking to get your birth chart read, anything like that, highly recommend Niha from Dark Fate Tarot. I have a lot of video I want to film for you guys. Again, this monthly video where I'll share with you current practice and what I learned in Ayurveda. I want to continue my collection videos for you guys. Next up will be all of my RWS kind of decks, but there's tons coming. I have a few VRs I want to do. I also want to share best tarot for journaling. I also want to share best decks for chronic pain and chronic illness, because that's really, something I've been meaning to talk about for ages. So that's going to come soon. I just need to get enough spoons. Don't worry, the content, the ideas are there. I just need the spoons to execute. But that was my little life update. I hope everyone is doing good. And without further ado, we're going to get straight into the new decks. Let's do this. I want to start with a deck that I did not expect to arrive at all. This was a huge surprise. This actually arrived yesterday in the mail, which is what was the spur for me to film this haul, to finally sit down and get my shit together. The creator from the Fantasy Tarot actually sent me the updated version that is done. So for those of you guys who don't know, the Fantasy Tarot is a Lord of the Rings inspired tarot deck that I backed on Kickstarter, I think last year. So this is the version I backed on Kickstarter, and I'm a huge Lord of the Rings fan. I adore the Lord of the Rings, and this deck I've used non-stop, but I had some complaints about the kind of paper that the creator was able to get. So this was the OG version. As you could see, the paper was super flimsy. The backs, we had some white borders, which weren't so nice because the fronts are completely borderless, and the paper, I've used this deck non-stop, but I was stopping myself because I was really worried for the durability. And so Andy, who created this deck, sent me the updated version that is now available on his Etsy shop, and he's managed now to get this printed on much better cardstock. And I really didn't expect him to send this deck to me, because I shared his deck. I love the Lord of the Rings because I adore the world, and because I thought he had done a great job at creating a deck for us who love Tolkien's world. But I didn't know he was gonna see my video. You guys, I'm never going to contact creators and stuff like that. I kind of do my thing, and a lot of the times creators find my videos and come to me. So he saw my video and very kindly sent me the updated copy with much improved cardstock and better backs and everything. So I wanted to share it with you because I thought that was so nice, especially because I know this deck, when I shared it on my channel and on my Instagram, there was so much enthusiasm for it, because there are so many of us Tolkien lovers out there. And so I can tell you that now the version that you guys can get on Etsy that is here, well, first you can see the back design is so much nicer this way. I love it, the way that it's borderless, beautiful backs, and the cardstock is so much better, you guys. I've put it back in order. I've actually did a little reading yesterday, but I've put it back in order this morning to show it, and the cardstock is much better. It's definitely gonna be much more durable, and I'm so happy that he managed to now print this in a much better quality, as his deck really deserved that. So super kind of him to send him my way, and I really appreciate when people are able to like take constructive criticism well, right? Because a lot of us were thinking that very first cardstock wasn't so nice, and the fact that he managed to take that on board and change it, I think it's fantastic. The book is the same in the new version, and it's really well thought out. For each of the cards, you have keywords and you have a quote from Tolkien for every single card, which I love. You can see that Andy is a fellow Tolkien fan. There was a lot of research done in this, and you can tell. What I loved also is that we have some extra cards. So here we have the author with Tolkien. I love that. And the extra card that you can get, we have an extra page of coin, knight of coin, queen of coins, and king of coins. Those are like the extra card that you can add on Etsy again if you want. They are more darker themed. The regular coin court are set in the Hobbit world, but these are definitely more the shadow side, right? Which is pretty cool, depending on the kinds of readings you want to do. You also had a choice for Tower and a choice for Temperance. So he actually sent me all the extra card, which is so nice. I have an extra Fool, as you can see. Here are the two options. We have the Devil and the Magician. You can choose between Saruman or Gandalf. Again, depending on what kind of reading you're doing, having the Gandalf or having Saruman as a Magician is really going to change how you read this, right? So I think it's super cool. Again, the Hermit, we have a choice between Gandalf or Gollum. Having those cards, depending on the spreads you're doing, can be super, super interesting, as it's giving a more shadow, kind of darker aspect to the deck. And I love that because, you know, the Lord of the Rings, there's like light and shadow. I'll quickly show it again, even though I've talked about it on my channel before. This was created with the help of AI, and he was very open about, even when you go on his Etsy, it says, you know, created with the help of Midjourney. So I'm at a point with AI now where I don't use AI in my personal life. I don't touch AI at all. I don't see the need to personally. So, and I'm also very aware of the environmental impact that AI can have, right? That being said, when it comes to decks, I can appreciate that not AI decks are equal, and I can appreciate that for certain themes, for me personally, I'm completely fine using AI decks because for in this instance, this is on a theme that is so close to my heart. I've never found a tarot deck on the Lord of the Rings that is as good as this, created by Andy. It's 100% inspired by the movies, and it's well thought out, it's well constructed, it speaks to me. It's just a, you know, it's my favorite movies, my favorite books. I reread them every year, I rewatch them every year. Tolkien's world is so close to my heart that this deck I adore. I really adore. For me, when it comes to AI decks, I've noticed that I'm at this point where I want artists to be honest about it. I don't want them to hide it, so people can make their own decision. And I'm okay using an AI deck if I resonate with such as this. I'm very fine making exceptions because it's well thought out, because you can see that the person who made this actually thought about it, actually understands tarot, actually, you know, didn't just put a prompt and put click and off they went trying to make money, right? This is not a cash grab. It really feels like the kind of deck that was made by a fan for a fan, and I really adore that. So it's a love letter to Tolkien's world, and I, as a Tolkien file girl myself, I really appreciate that. So I love this deck. I think you can expect it to see it in my favorites of the year, to be honest. I even love it. I love it even more so now that it's on durable cardstock, because I was getting to a point where I was worried about using my other copy, as I didn't want it, you know, to get too damaged. But now I'm going to be able to read with this non-stop, and I'm so happy. I really didn't expect this to be sent my way, but I'm so grateful. Thank you so much, Andy, if you're watching. I think the updated version is so great. I'll make sure to leave the link to where you can get this down below. Well thought out deck. It's smart, you know, and it's a celebration of a world that I know is so close to our heart. So that's the Fantasy Tarot. I'll show you the coin suit like I was telling you. For the court cards you're gonna see, we have much lighter kind of version, so the page, the knight, the queen, and the king. But again, love the fact that we can choose between a more shadow version and a more lighter version in terms of themes, obviously. I'm super happy to have this new version in my hands, and really grateful to Andy for sending this my way. Here is what it's called, the Fantasy Tarot. I'll make sure to leave it in the link to his Etsy shop in the description box. Shout out to my friend Melanie for this beautiful cloth. It came with a Phantom Tarot she gave me, and I love it. Moving on, still in the decks that were sent to me for review, I'm gonna be making a dedicated video to these decks right here, but I still wanted to share them with you. Ethony super kindly sent me her new decks, and I've been loving them, you guys. So there's definitely gonna be a dedicated video. Ethony has come out recently with the Luminous Flow Tarot and the Money Magic Manifestation card, which comes with a regular size as well as a pocket size. And as the name suggests, this is an oracle deck that helps you to work with money and your energetic relationship with money. So in this one, you have a super chunky, amazing guidebook, which all of Ethony's guidebooks are always fantastic in my opinion. She is one of my favorite writers when it comes to tarot guidebooks. I'm never disappointed. I actually own and have bought with my own money quite a few of Ethony's decks myself. So when she got in touch and offered to send this to me for review, I was like, please, I would love that, because I'm usually a big fan of what she does. So for the money, again, I'll make a dedicated review, but just wanted to give you a little sneak peek for Money Magic Manifestation. Beautiful backings, and you're gonna see it's the same artist for the tarot and the oracle, and on each of the card you have a beautiful image, and you have affirmation that is linked to money, to abundance, to finances, which I think is awesome, because there's really not, in my opinion, enough kind of decks out there that deal with money, finances, the energy of money, and yet even career. I think we're really missing some career decks out there. There's a lot of love decks, and yet it's something that we're all dealing with. We live in a capitalistic world where we need money to eat and have a roof over our head, right? So I love the fact that Ethony did something that feels here very grounded in reality, and yet sprinkled with her touch of magic. The guidebook, like I said, is so good. It really goes in with lots of exercises. So for each of the cards, you have your affirmation with the card, you have what it means, and then you have exercises, journaling prompt. This is a very practical guidebook where you are invited to put things into practice, journal, reflect on your relationship to money. I've been working with this deck for the last couple of weeks. You guys know, if I do a deck review, I like to not do first impression. I like to actually work with it. So I'm still gonna give myself another week to work with this one, and I'll do a dedicated review just so I can tell you in practical day-to-day readings how it reads. But so far I can tell you I've really been enjoying it. Tarot deck I've also put back in order this morning for you guys to share with you, but I have been using it and loving it. Look at this gorgeous box. I mean, Ethony's decks are always so well produced. In a Flow Tarot, here are the backs, absolutely beautiful. Hello butterfly, we love to see that. Gorgeous edging, and again, I'm gonna make a review for you guys, but I still wanted to give you a sneak peek because it's absolutely beautiful. I've been using it for my own readings for the last, again, couple of weeks. It's very RWS. This is a deck I can see myself using as a workhorse, to be honest. I've loved using it for myself, but I've read for friends with this already. It was great. This is gonna be a workhorse for me. I think I could read for anyone with this. It's very kind, very welcoming, very gentle in the energy. I did want to give you a sneak peek, but this is absolutely stunning. Oh, the guidebook again, all of Ethony's guidebooks are gorgeous. The artist that you work with here, it's Beta Sapi, absolutely beautiful art, right? We have gorgeous color choices here. This fluid kind of very inspired by dance, it seems. This particular deck, there's a lot of gracious movement, so it carries its name so well, the Luminous Flow. As with all of Ethony's decks, there's beautiful representation here, people with various body types, ages, skin tones, which I love, so I'm so happy to see that, and it's just an absolute gorgeous creation. I've been really adoring it. I can't wait to do a full review for you guys, because these have been wonderful to work with. The Luminous Flow Tarot, Money Magic Manifestation cards, created and produced by Ethony, and the artwork by Beata Sapi. super beautiful creations. Again, I'll make sure to share where you can get this and watch out for my dedicated review. Now we're moving on to decks I purchased with my own money, and we're gonna start with the last decks from my birthday haul. I didn't have enough funds to share with you back in March. The first one being the Mirror Muse Oracle by Emma Westbrook. It's an indie deck. Originally it was a Kickstarter. I don't know how I missed the Kickstarter. This I had ordered just before going to India. It arrived while I was away, and I've been using it ever since I've been back. It says within every reflection the muse is waiting. We have 50 cards in this one, and this is absolutely gorgeous. Like I said, it's an indie deck. I have been using this deck, I think, pretty much every day. I might have missed like a couple of days, but pretty much every day for a month and a half at this point. So here are the backs. We have hollow edging, beautiful, and the cardstock is matte and nice to shuffle. This is a collage deck, you're gonna see, and it's just so beautiful. I love the art style, I love the keywords, I love the guidebook. I'm having a huge love affair with this deck. I've been meaning to share it with you guys for weeks because I've been working with it consistently for many weeks now. It's been part of my daily card pullings. I've been pairing it with the Rose Season Tarot that I adore, that I shared with you last month, I think, or the month before. That was a Kickstarter I had backed. The Blue Bones Oracle, I've paired it with the Sistine Tarot. It's really witchy, it's powerful, it's potent. It feels like anchored in the divine feminine, and it feels channeled, and I just adore it so much. Waves of Your Soul readings for you, for my May 2025 readings. I use it. If you are curious, I'll leave it in the cards if you want to see how it reads. And I've even paired it with the Fantasy Tarot that I shared with you guys just now. And because this is also a little bit fantasy inspired, it's just such a vibe together. I mean, this is everything I love. It's nature based. We have gemstones. We have, high priestess vibes. It's like ethereal and magical and gorgeous. We have a beautiful kind of balanced keyword between light and shadow. And I mean, look at this. I would not be surprised if this is going into my favorite oracle decks of the year. I cannot stop using it. I'm truly in love. I'll share with you the guidebook in a bit. Look at this. Oh, it is separated into categories. We have families for this deck based on the elements. So you have earth, fire, air, water, and spirit. So the deck is divided between those 5 elements. And then for each of the card, you have image, full color, and a text if you want to pause and see how it reads. Really gorgeous creation here. I can't believe I missed the Kickstarter, but you can get this on Etsy, and I'm so pleased I found this on Etsy because my life is better for having this deck in it. It pairs so well with so many things. Look at this. Oh, I adore it. I adore it so much. Another deck I've had for over a month now that I had gotten myself for my birthday is the Oracle of Oddities by Claire Goodchild, or Black and the Moon. This I actually got as part of my order from A Riffle in Time, my lovely Cassandra here on YouTube. I will make sure to leave her shop in the description box. Cassandra has an amazing tarot shop. She sells indie decks, mass market decks, and her choices are always so full of intentions. An amazing selection of decks, and supports usually creators that I adore. So this was out of print for a while, and it's been re-released this year or end of last year. As soon as I found out that this was going to be re-released, it was on my wish list because I had always wanted this deck. And when I had decided to organize an order from A Riffle in Time, I knew I'd pick this up from Cassandra's shop because I knew she had it in stock, using it consistently in a much different way than I have the Mirror Muse. The Mirror Muse I use for connecting to my guides, to my spiritual practice, maybe to expand on tarot deck readings. The Oracle of Oddities doesn't want to be paired with tarot decks for me. It just wants to be pulled on its own, and it's a deck fully dedicated right now to connecting to my body and to working with chronic pain, chronic illness. So very specific work I'm doing with this deck, which is why I really want to do a separate video where I'll share with you decks I use for chronic pain and chronic illness, how I use them. Let me know if you're interested. I feel like it's something that's a little bit taboo in the tarot community, like using decks for health, but I kind of always have had, because health is such a big part of my life, because I live in a sick body that I don't have a choice but to, you know, make health at the forefront of my issues and my worries and my thoughts. This deck is so profound for that, because of just the imagery, how evocative it is. There's no guidebook. And I have the Memento Mori by the same creator, which is wonderful, but I don't use them at all in the same way. Like the Memento Mori is great for divination for me, for also ancestral like communication, and for any kind of divination, fortune telling. It's great. This deck is for me solely focused on connecting to my body, chatting to my pain. One of those decks that made me cry. Like, we've had some real revelation with this. We've had some real impactful readings, like the kind of readings that you're going to think about for many months to come. And I'm just so grateful for this deck to be out in the world, and I'm so happy I could get it from Cassandra's shop, because I love her. Again, let me know in the comments if you guys are interested in me sharing how I use the cards today with chronic pain and chronic illness. It's a super vulnerable subject, but I'm hoping it might help some of my fellow spoonies out there. So the last indie deck I wanted to share with you today, and then we'll move on to my lot of mass market deck, is the Honey and Lavender Tarot. And you guys, this took a few months to arrive. I ordered this back in December, but you know, with everything going on in the world, there's quite a few decks that I ordered that are still somewhere floating in the ether. It's fine, they're gonna make their way to me eventually. There's a lot of delays, boats have to find other routes, things like that, so things are taking a little bit longer. So there's quite a few decks, so I don't know when they'll arrive, but this one finally did after a few months of floating in the ether, and I'm so happy to have this in my hands. And I've actually been using it all week, so I can give you like a mini first impression, mini review. Look at this gorgeous box. This is by Modern Magic Store or Lida Pavlova. I adore everything that Lida does. Interesting witch. Make sure, you guys, that you buy the deck. You have a certificate of authenticity. I've seen so many fakes of this deck going around. If your box doesn't open like this, and it doesn't have this, and I'm pretty sure if it doesn't have the yellow edging, then you might be having a fake. So just make sure that you buy it from sellers or places that, you know, are real. So you can buy it on Modern Magic Shop. I think they're stocked on Amazon now. You can get it. I think Nicolas from Salon des Arcanes stocks Lida's decks as well. Make sure you're not getting fooled by scammers, because it's annoying when that happens. Honey and Lavender Tarot is a beautiful fantasy-inspired tarot deck, which has enchanted my world for the last week. I've done many different kinds of readings with it, because I've also used it for friends this week, and it's really wonderful. Because Lida is a witch, there's a lot of like witchy elements here. You can see Hecate for the moon. This is a world of like tieflings and elves and fairies. This is a very magical world. This high priestess, though, she's beautiful. Everything is in those tones, purple and blue tones, absolutely stunning. Find this deck so enchanting, so gorgeous. Had some really sweet readings with this one. This reads to me like a best friend. Every time I've pulled this deck, it just wants to tell me great things. Like, in the sense that, you know, some decks will slap you in the face, will veer the reading towards something else completely. This deck is happy to chat to me about anything. It's super open, it's super receptive, it's super friendly. It feels like such a good friend. Like, honestly, my interview reading I've done with this deck was probably one of the nicest interview reading I've had in a while. It was literally the sun, the star, 3 of cups. Instantly made me feel extremely connected to this deck. I think Lida is also a big fantasy nerd like myself. You can tell she reads a lot of fantasy, because there's a lot of elements here that remind me of books I've read. It's not necessarily like particular story, but it's a vibe, it's a mood. You feel like you're reading a really good fantasy, epic fantasy, romantasy. There's almost a fairy tale element in some of the cards. It feels very liminal and a little bit witchy, like I said, but also super sweet. This Seven of Wands is everything to me. There's something, I don't know, I just love it. This like battle at the edge of the world. Like, yes, you know, it's giving Game of Thrones. It's giving The Lord of the Rings. I'm so here for it. It's quite epic. This Ten of Wands is really touching. She's carrying her child. And I don't think I've ever seen that in a Ten of Wands, represented as someone carrying a child, but that's quite potent, I think. I love the Three of Wands. Like I said, you know, it's balancing the sweetness of the maiden with some elements caring of the mother and the wisdom of the crone. And I think this deck does a really good job at incorporating the three faces. The one thing is, if you read this deck, because it's quite dark in the like color palette, I do a lot of my readings at night because that's when I get a chance to, you know, sit down and journal and stuff like that. Sometimes it can be a little bit hard to see some of the cards, but then some cards are really bright, and I love this Eight of Wands. It's so sweet. So I am wondering if any of you guys have this deck, what you pair it with it, because they've used it all week. I love this Nine of Wands. It's beautiful. I've used it all week, but I've used it on its own, and now I'm ready to pair. Now that I have a good grasp on like how it reads, its voice, I would love to pair it with something, but I don't know what. I love this Fool. So let me know if you love this. I love it. I love every card. Okay, this Seven of Swords is awesome. Let me know what you pair it with. I would love to have this as a pairing with something, but I don't know what. So if you can think of something, let me know in the comments. I'm going to continue using it for the month of May. I'm going to use it for you guys on my readings channel as well, because I think you'll really enjoy it. I'm pretty sure there's still some copies available on Amazon. And if not, I know Lida is working on a second printing of this. So if you can't get the first edition, don't worry. I'm pretty sure she's working on a second edition at some point soon. Okay, this is going to be an epic long video, you guys. So if you don't like long videos about decks, you're in the wrong place, honey. Now is your chance to leave. Now is the time to share with you the mass market pre-loved decks that I got as part of this package that this lovely lady I met. She was getting rid of decks that she didn't want. We ended up chatting. I actually ended up trading her decks. Wanted to get rid of these as a lot. So I actually didn't pay for these decks because we ended up trading. You know, we got chatting and I told her like I had a channel and stuff, and she's not on social media or anything, but she's retired. So her joy is to buy decks. And even if she doesn't read with them very often or whatever, she just finds joy in that. But she doesn't read with all of them. And she was telling me like she tends to buy some and then put them on the side because she loves to look at them, but she doesn't speak English. So a lot of the decks she gave to me are actually decks that have been translated in French. So she passed to me the English version because when we got chatting, I told her like I had a channel in English about the cards and stuff. So she gave me a lot of decks that are not translated in French. And I just had a message from her today telling me she's got more decks for me. She's really sweet. The first one that she gave me as part of this lot is the Green Witch Oracle, and this is not translated in French, which is why she didn't want it anymore. It's by Sherilyn Darcy, and I don't know how I'm going to use this, you guys. I was aware that this deck existed, but I realized that I also was getting it confused all the time with another deck that is by that is also called the Green Witch something. So I think there's two Green Witch Oracle decks, and I think I had them confused. I think this one is more focused on food, and I'm a huge foodie myself. When I flipped through it, I did a couple of readings. I actually pulled a card for my mom with this, and she actually really liked it because this is mostly focused on plants, specifically plants you can grow in your garden. Now, I don't have a green thumb for shit. Like, I'm really bad. Even before I got sick, I couldn't grow shit. On top of that, now I'm sick, obviously living with invisible disability. I can't garden, like physically I'm unable to. But my mom, she has a wonderful garden. She grows many fruits and vegetables and plants. So she's my go-to when it comes to getting plants. I love working with plants. I just go to my mom's garden and take her stuff. And this deck, when I went through the guidebook, there's a lot of it that is focused on the actual gardening, like when you're supposed to plant this and when you're supposed to water it and the kind of soil it likes. So a lot of it in the guidebook I don't relate to at all because again, you know, I'm not a gardener, but the artwork is gorgeous. I love that we have some astrological associations. I love the key words. I love that we have elements. So I'm definitely can see myself using this. Easy to pull, even in readings. Like I don't think I would need to go into the guidebook. I could pull a couple of cards. Go of the keyword, go of the element, go of the astrological sign. I think obviously if you guys love to garden, then you might enjoy this one even more so, because like I said in the guidebook, there's a lot, like for each of the cards. You have the oracle meaning, but then you have a whole thing about cultivation, and you have a spell as well, which I think is fun, and you have magical correspondences. Now this is cool. Like this I've actually used, and you know, I think if you were to create little rituals, maybe you're thinking of my friend, for example, she loves to do oils. She's always like giving me perfumes and ointments and stuff because she works a lot with plants that way. I think she might love this. So I don't know if I'll keep it in the end or if I'll pass it on to her. I'll see. I'm gonna try to do some readings with it. Let me know in the comments how you guys use it. If you have any pairings you like to pair it with, in what capacity you kind of use it, what kind of readings. Again, is it something I would have bought if it wasn't part of the lot? I don't think so. But is it really interesting and well made? Yes. So I'm gonna give this a shot. If not, I'll give it to my friend. Another deck that she gave me that was translated is this, and this I've been absolutely loving. It's the Floating World Tarot. So for my French viewers, you can go get this in French. Adore this one, you guys. It's by Oliver Luke Delory and illustrated by Miya Komatsu. It's inspired by Japanese spiritualism. You might have seen this if you watch my mass market decks for readers. I included this one in my prompts. If not, I'll make sure to leave it in the cards if you haven't seen it. Beautiful box, by the way. Gorgeous book. The guidebook is fantastic. I think if you are a beginner, this is so good. It comes with, look, I've tabbed some spreads and everything. Like, this is a really good guidebook. I've read it cover to cover. We have some upright and reverse meanings for both majors and minors. There's really good spreads in there. This is a really well-written guidebook if you are a beginner in tarot and you need something to hold your hand. I think this is great. Honestly, this will go in my recommendation for best decks for beginners. The backs I adore. So beautiful. Absolutely stunning. When I saw that this was part of her package lot that she wanted to get rid of, went through the cards a little bit, you can see it's in perfect quality. She really took good care of her stuff. I went through a couple of images and I was like, oh my god, the colors, the art style, this is so me. It's vibrant, it's beautiful. I will happily take this as part of the package. I think it's stunning. I love the art style. It follows the RWS, but it kind of does its own thing. It's, like I said, the guidebook is fantastic. It does a good job at explaining to you some of the symbolism on here. There's a lot of like cute creatures, dragons and frogs and rabbits and foxes. And I just think this is a beautiful mass market deck. The cardstock is really nice. I don't know about the French edition, obviously. If there's any French viewers out there, let us know what the French edition is like. But on the English one, I think the quality is very nice. I don't really have anything bad to say about this deck. I think it's beautiful, and I'm going to be using it for a reading for you guys very soon. And I'll do an interview spread and stuff for myself, of course, so I can get a feeling of how this reads. But I already can tell, like, this is a deck I'm really going to enjoy pulling. Not just for myself, but for others too, because it feels vibrant, it feels fun, it feels engaging and creative, and the energy of the deck is awesome. It feels really good. It feels really, look at this, 5 of Cups. It's so fun. Voice feels a little bit like Page of Wands energy, right? Just energetically holding the deck, reading the guidebook, flipping through it. It feels like a Page of Wands, this deck. So I can't wait to read with this. I adore those backings. These might be some of my favorite backings I've seen in a mass market deck in a really, really long time. She gave me the Grim Tales Tarot by Fiona Edgewood. She said she bought it, went through the cards, and didn't like it. I don't know anything about this deck, you guys. I think it came out last year. Last year, I was very bad with keeping, in touch with the releases and stuff because I was so poorly physically. I missed out on a lot of releases. I'm pretty sure this came out towards Halloween this time last year, but I hadn't really watched any reviews or anything because again I was just super behind on my YouTube stuff. I've been using it for myself. Does it have anything to do with Grim Tales? I don't think so. I don't use this as a fairy tale kind of deck because even the guidebook, it doesn't talk about fairy tales. Like, I don't know why they call this a Grim Tales. To me, it's just cool spooky deck. Because honestly, yes, there might be reference in the artwork to the fairy tales, but in the guidebook, there's nothing that reference any fairy tales, any grim tale. Guys, if you want a fairy tale deck, this is not the one. If you want a cool, spooky deck, this is super fun. I've really enjoyed it. And I'm kind of in the mood right now for a little bit of spooky. I mean, we are almost entering autumn where I am, so it fits, right? For me, I know you guys are getting into spring, but for me, we're getting into autumn. So I've been actually having a blast with this. I took it to brunch to read for my friend. I think for those of you who have the Madame Wilhelmina, for example, it's giving that. I don't have the Madame Wilhelmina deck, so it doesn't feel too similar. But for example, I've paired this with the Deviant Moon Oracle. The name escapes me. You know the one, the little pocket that's a little bit creepy and that has blood on it. Someone is screaming the name at the screen right now. Anyway, I've paired them together for my week ahead reading, and it's so good. Like, I had a really good reading. So I love this. Would have never seen it if you hadn't given it to me. I had never watched a review or anything, didn't know anything about it, but it's so fun. I'm really enjoying this one. I'm gonna get a ton of use out of this one between now and spooky season. And yeah, it's just, you know, it's fun. It's spooky. It's a little bit gloomy. I love the pages and the knights in this. They all have like cool attributes. The Queen of Swords is a harpy. That's pretty cool. The Two of Cups is beautiful. The Death is really striking. Yeah, I'm gonna have a good time. We're reading with this. The Five of Wands, I don't understand too much. It's giving Harry Potter a little bit. Not really goes with the grim fairy tale vibes. But again, this is not fairy tales, you guys. I don't know why they called it grim. It's got nothing at all to do with grim fairy tales, in my opinion. It's just a cool spooky deck. I need to actually pair this with Nicoletta Ceccoli Tarot, but I'm also scared. I'm scared that it will destroy me. Look at the devil. I love this devil so much. Yeah, because the Nicoletta Ceccoli has a tendency to ruin me. So I don't know how, if these two together is like an inspired genius idea, or if I'm gonna regret it and curve into a ball and have to go into a fetal position because it will destroy my feelings. Let's continue with The Infinite Door by Pamela Love, artwork by Chris Maniecki. This is one I actually had my eye on, so I was super happy that it was part of the package lot that she was getting rid of. What is bothering me with this deck is that it stinks, and it's not the lady's fault. None of her other decks stinks. It's the paper quality. Chemically, I don't know if it's the ink, if it's the guidebook, but literally it smells of chemicals. It just smells so strong. So I've been leaving this deck out because I've shared this in my best mass market deck for readers. Someone said to use dryer sheet to remove the smell, so I'm gonna try that. Other than that, it's absolutely beautiful. I just can't use it yet because it's like, it's not nice, you guys. It smells really bad of chemicals. So I'm excited to use it as soon as I can get rid of the terrible scent that it holds. I think it's really the production. Maybe it's just my copy. That being said, it's absolutely stunning. I really am excited to read with it once I can fix how it smells, because it's super cool. It's really surreal. It feels like it is, I don't know, in this weird dreamscape world. I put it in the category in my last video for intuitive readings because it just feels so good for that, right? It feels a little bit surreal and weird. I mean, look at this devil. This is a card I saw and I was like, oh yeah, I need this deck. I love this devil. So cool. Yeah, I think this deck is going to be super interesting to read with. I don't know, it doesn't feel like as popular as Tarot of Secrets, for example, which I've seen quite a lot. They're very different, right? This one definitely feels a lot more surrealist. It's giving you a little bit Dali vibe. It's weird, but I love weird. I love the wandsuit. There's a lot of desert reference. People are riding these weird creatures. There's a whole story here that I cannot wait to dive deep into. I love the Page of Wands. there's really some cards in this deck that are calling to me so much. And it's also, you know, giving me a little bit Zix Arcana vibes, which I adore the Zix Arcana. It's an out-of-print indie deck. So if you missed out on the Zix Arcana, because they are both really strange, surreal. The Zix Arcana is a lot brighter. This one is a lot more muted in the color palette, but it feels similarly channeled in that way. I cannot wait to read with this and report back as soon as I fix the horrible scent problem. Look at this Knight of Cups. It's beautiful. Let me know in the comments the kinds of readings you do with this. My first initial kind of desire is to use this for... I love this Two of Swords, by the way. So cool. I love how the universe is hiding her eyes, right? Instead of the sword. Looks like her guides. Super cool. Once I've done the interview spread and stuff, I really want to use this for intuitive card pulls, channel kind of readings, and also for dream interpretation. I think it could be super fun. I'm also thinking this could be a cool pairing to pair with the Dali Tarot. So I'm going to try that. Knight of Swords is so beautiful. Yeah, this feels very strange, right? It's not going to be everyone's cup of tea. I already know. It's really interesting. I'm at a stage in my tarot journey where I love weird, strange, different decks. They bring something different to my practice. They stretch me as a reader. And sometimes if I want a clear answer, I'm not going to go to this deck, right? I mean, maybe we'll see how I get on. If I want to sit and marinate with a reading and stretch my intuitive muscles, and yeah, I can see myself going to a deck like this. I don't like this Ten of Pentacles. It creeps me out. Gives me the heebie-jeebies. I might even cover that eye. I cannot. Okay, it's too much. And also, there's a couple of cards that bother me, which also tell me this deck has something to teach me. Another card that really bothers me is the Empress, because she gives me the Last of Us vibe with the mushroom heads. Yeah, it's giving the Last of Us, and hell no, I don't want to get my face eaten off, you know what I mean? So, but again, there's probably something here for me to dig into. So really interesting deck. Let me know if you guys have it, the pairings you do with it, the readings you do with it. Guidebook wise, full color, reverse, and upward, keywords, and we have a text that explains to you what's on the card. For the majors, we actually have full page. For any of you who have watched my channel since the beginning, the next deck I'm going to share with you, you are going to laugh. You are going to laugh so hard, because this, I always said I would never, ever, ever, ever own this deck, okay? I have been avoiding this deck like the plague. I've had many opportunities to own this deck, and every time I was like, nope, I don't want it. Thank you, take that away from me. Not today, Satan. It's finally made its way to me. And I'm talking about Les Vampires Oracle, you guys. The way I've run away from this deck so many times, the way I've literally avoiding it like the plague, but this lovely lady was like, it's part of the package. I'm getting rid of all the decks. You can't pick and choose. You have to take everything. I'm trying to get rid of everything. And obviously this has been translated in French, so she didn't want the English version anymore. And I was like, okay, fine. I'll take it. Okay. Do not like this art style. I'm sorry. I know so many people love Jasmine Beckett Griffiths. I think she's a very talented artist. It's just not for me. I don't like big dolls. I don't like dolls. I don't like big eyes vibes. It's just not my style. I've been told by so many people that this is the best one, that this is a really special deck, that this deck actually slaps, okay? That this is great for shadow work and all of that. And I was like, look, I like to get bitch slapped by the universe. Like, that's kind of my thing. And, you know, if I really must get a big eye deck, then I guess it's good that it's this one, because out of all of them, this is probably the only one I would be interested in actually opening and trying. A full confession, am I eating my words? And is this actually turning out to be pretty great? Yeah, it's actually turning out to be pretty great. And trust me, nobody hates to say that more than me, because I've been on the hate train for these decks since I've started my channel. So, am I going to buy the other decks from this particular artist? Absolutely not. Am I going to use this deck? Yes, because guess what? I did a couple of card pull with this, and it read me to filth in the best way. And it gave me literally answers that I needed to hear. Like, perfect. Honestly, perfect answer. And I was like, well, fuck me for being so like hateful toward these decks. This one turning out to be telling me exactly what I needed to hear at that time. Now, this actually, Les Vampires, I think is one of the oldest one of the decks from that use this particular artist work. Strangely enough, the dolls don't have the big eyes on all of them yet, because it's the older art style. So actually, this I don't mind, right? It's not too bad. There's some art style where the eyes are smaller, and I can get on board. When we get to this territory, no, I don't like it. This territory, I don't like it. But it's good. So like it gave me good readings. So what am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do, you guys? I can't, I've run away from this deck so many times. This time it was pushed into my hands, and gave it a try, did a reading, and there you go, eating my words. See this? It's older art style. I personally prefer, because the big eyes, they freak me out. But again, it's a personal thing. So many of my friends love this deck, okay? They love this artist. Can I appreciate it's very well made and beautiful art? Yes, it's just not my taste, okay? So please don't take what I say personally. If you love these decks, it's all preferences, right? We're all different, taste and colors and all that. The keywords slap. Okay, I didn't expect, because I've never watched a walkthrough of this deck. I used to be a hater, you guys. I was like, I don't even want to see pictures. I'm like, hell no, I'm not interested. I'm so surprised that the keywords are so good. I didn't expect the keywords to be so good. So it just shows, right? Sometimes you gotta eat your words. Sometimes you avoid decks for years, but they might turn out to be exactly what you need at that time. Never in a million years would have I expected to ever have this deck in my hand. But here we are, and you know what? It's actually pretty great. The last deck I'm going to share with you guys, and if you're still here, thank you so much. First of all, if you're still here, you can leave me a little butterfly emoji in the comments. It will let me know you've stuck around, and it will make me super happy. So the last deck that I wanted to share with you today is actually the deck that I got in touch with the lady first, that she had part of this package, and that's the one I actually wanted in the first place. And it's a French mass market deck by Sandy Tattoo and Voglio Bene. You might recognize this creatrix. They have done the Tell Me You Love Me, I think it is, Oracle deck, which is a similar aesthetic of reusing Renaissance art style, but adding cool tattoos and touches and stuff. But the Tell Me You Love Me, which originally was in French, but now I think it's been translated mass market in English, is for love readings. And whilst I think it's beautiful, I don't do a ton of love readings. It's not my favorite thing to do. This, though, is all about career, life path, things like that. So that's much more up my alley and the kind of readings I like to do. So that's why I always had it on my wish list. So getting a used copy is actually pretty great. Comes with a little bag, really nice. The guidebook is super chunky, you guys. Obviously all in French, but like I said, the original deck by these creators has been translated in English, so maybe this one will be too. It seems to be super popular, the love one. I've seen it in a lot of people's Instagram and stuff. For the guidebook, you have key phrases, and then you have your text here. Again, this is very focused on career, finances, abundance, creativity, inspiration. And then here you have a bit specifically for people who either are unemployed, are in reconversion of work, or are students. I think that's awesome. Again, like I said at the very beginning of the video, we don't see a lot of decks that are focused on work, and especially not that look this good. So obviously, as the name suggests, this is inspired by Leonardo da Vinci. Look at these backs. Oh my god, it's stunning. Very glossy, that's something to note. Of course, we have golden edges. You can tell this lady took very, very good care of her stuff, because I don't even know if she shuffled this once, to be honest. It looks brand new to me, but it's all used stuff, pre-loved, but I don't actually think she used this. Maybe a little bit. Yeah, it looks pretty good to me. So as you're gonna see, we have these beautiful images. Hopefully you won't see too much glare. Maybe if I put that down, it's better. Yeah, there you go. And then 3 keywords. So here we have inspiration, divination, and innovation. For this one, we have research, experience, training, guardian angel, ancestors, and beyond the veil. We have intelligence, perspicacity, and genius. So even the keywords are awesome, and not necessarily just for career. Like the guidebook is very much focused on career, finances, work, creativity, life paths, purpose, things like that. But I think the key words are actually much more open than that. I'm so excited to have this. I think it's gorgeous. Pretty much that's the reason why I wanted it. It's beautiful. And I really want to pair this with my Lacrimosa Tarot, which I already know they're going to be amazing together. That's the main reason why I originally wanted this. I was looking for a pairing with Lacrimosa to do specifically past life readings, and I think this could be amazing. So here it says acceptation, yes, and authorization. We have a no card, I think, somewhere. Yeah, there you go, no. Nope, not this one. I don't know, I've shuffled it. I've pulled a card already. We'll see. Look at this. Like, this is very beautiful. This is such a vibe. I'm so about this aesthetic. It's really, really stunning. Even if you don't speak French, I don't think you'd have too much issue translating. I mean, the keywords to me are very easy to translate. Here we have perfection, apogee, and transcendence. It's easy to translate, right? We have rhythm, speed, and precipitation. Here we have, look at this. How gorgeous is she? We have wish and prayer. We have will, force, and determination. Yeah, it's absolutely stunning. Really, really beautiful. I've pulled a card for myself and it read really good. Like the guidebook actually talked about what I'm going in terms of finances. It talked really well about that. So I think if you want to use a guidebook, it will be great. For me, I can already tell you I'm going to use this intuitively, though, I think, because I vibe so much with the art style, with the keywords. So this is one I can see myself more so to pair with stuff rather than to use on its own. I'm starting to flare up, and that was a lot of decks. Didn't expect to have so many decks join all at once, but it's just how the cookie crumbled. And of course, you can be sure I will come back and share with you how I'm working with them in future videos. If you want to see them being used in real readings, make sure to subscribe to the Waves of Your Soul Readings channel. Until next time, I hope you're all doing good. I'm sending you so much good vibes and keep navigating the waves of your soul. Bye!